So there we go. 9 o'clock service start is ready to go. And now I need to tell ProPresenter where to display it. I like to use the messages layer. So let me click the little plus button right here. And let's do a presented by Church Tech U. It's the ProPresenter show. On today's show, how to automatically reset the countdown for the second service in ProPresenter. Hi, and welcome again to the ProPresenter show. This is the show where I teach you all about ProPresenter. My name is Paul Allen Clifford. And before we get started, if you've got more than one service and you're always thinking, man, I'd love to automatically reset the countdown without having to like do the math and all that craziness, then go ahead and like, subscribe. Tell me about it in the comments below. So this is a trick that I used at a conference that I taught at, and I thought that I would share it because it would be very helpful to people that are in a situation where they have a multi-site church. So let's head over to my computer and we'll take a look at that. So here in ProPresenter, the very first thing we need to do is we need to make a timer here, and that's what this does right here. So let me hide myself real quick, and let's just call this, click on the little plus button. If you don't have any timers whatsoever, you can just click on the big button that's right here. I think it's a big plus. So do that, and let's just call this service start. Okay. And the thing that I want you to do is where it says countdown timer, let's select countdown to time. Now, the difference between that and the first one is an amount of time, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 2 hours, whatever. But this one is counting down to a specific time. And let's say that we've got a 9 o'clock service and an 11 o'clock service. So let's change that to 090 a.m. So for 9 a.m. And we're going to not check allows overrun because I want it just to finish there. So there we go. 9 o'clock service start is ready to go. And now I need to tell ProPresenter where to display it. I like to use the messages layer. So let me click the little plus button right here. And let's do a Sunday start. Okay. And we'll just type in some text. You don't have to, but we'll start church in :space. And now down here, this little drop down, go down to timer, and let's select the church start timer that we just created here. Okay, now for theme, you want a theme that you're gonna use to change how it looks. So let's see if we've got a good one. Let's just choose this worship lower third one, and that'll put the timer down here towards the bottom. Okay, so that's good to go, and we can change what places we want to show. You know, this one I have, so I've got these choices. I've got a single digit hour show, both digits of the hour no matter what. If they're don't show one digit. When it goes down to one digit, only show that, and then when it goes away, just make that go away. And that's what I'm going to select here. For minutes, I'm going to do the exact same thing. When it goes down to 1 minute, show the single digit, and then when it goes down to 0 minutes, don't show 0, just show nothing. And then for seconds, I'm going to leave that. For fractions of a second, there's a choice here for a double hyphen, which means never show fractions of a second. Okay, Let me show you what that's going to look like. So see, we've got that right there. Okay, so that is step one. We've got the message that's going to show this up on the screen. Now, how do we, with a loop, so let's say that we've got, I don't like that loop. Let's see here. No, I was playing around with stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, I've got these announcement slides down here. So let's do this. Let's create a new loop. So a new presentation. Let's call this pre-service loop. Okay, new. And so let me go ahead and I'm just going to drag up these slides one at a time. These are set to backgrounds. Ideally, I think I'd want them to have the foreground behavior, but just for now, let's, I guess I'll fix that. So if I can go down here and go to behavior and foreground. Edit action, behavior, foreground, right click, go down to edit action, behavior, and foreground. By the way, that did change as of ProPresenter 18, so if you're on an older version, behavior is up a level, so it'll be just right click, behavior, and foreground. Just so you know. Now what I'm going to do is click this button here, and that will enable me to automatically advance these slides. So let's change this to custom and do like 7 seconds. Okay. So now it should be the case. Okay. That's good right there. So how can I automatically change and actually start this timer? Well, let's make a macro. So I'm just going to click on the in button right here, then the little plus. Let's do first count down. And so I'm going to right click on that and add an action. And for the timer, I'm going to do the church start timer that we just created. And so what this is going to do is it's going to show it starting. And then I'm going to do countdown to a time. And again, 9 o'clock. So basically what this does is I like to set a default in there when I create the timer, but now when I do that, it's a little hard to see just because of the one that I chose, but now this, we're in the afternoon, you might have noticed as I'm recording this, so there's a good amount of time before 9 a.m., but now that will start automatically. Let's also, I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to add another action, and that action is going to be for the message to actually show the Sunday start message. Okay, so do you like these videos, but you'd really like to learn from me in person? Well, I've got some great news for you. I am traveling around the country and maybe even around the world training churches on how to use ProPresenter. So I've got a either a 1 or a 1.5 day class that you can attend For more details, head on over to tdm.fyi/events24, the top one right here, and register for the event nearest you. If there is no event that's near you, no problem. You can request one. So head on over to tdm.fyi/class request. That's this one down here, and you can say, hey, I'm interested in attending a class, or even I'm interested in hosting a class. Up to you which you prefer. In the last one, that is just information. It's not obligation, so don't hesitate to put your information in there, and I'll let you know when there's a class in your area, or we'll talk about what it takes to host a class. It's probably a lot less than you imagine that it is. So head over there, and I look forward to meeting you in person. Okay. So let's just test this out. If I clear out that message and click on it, okay. So I do need to edit that action. Edit action, Sunday start. Edit action, Sunday start. Okay. Actually, let's remove it and then we'll add it in again. Add action, message, Sunday start. Okay. Oh, I see what I did. So over here in messages, I bet that, oh yeah, I selected the wrong one. You probably saw that, even though I didn't. So that's why it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. Let's select the service start, not the class start. Okay. So the message is called Sunday start. The timer is called service start. Sorry about that. Okay. So now if I edit the, well, let's go ahead and we'll just remove the action class start. Right click, add action, message. Oh, I guess yeah, I didn't actually remove it. There we go. Okay, add action. And now we're going to add the Sunday start message. And notice how it allows me to change that right there. If I wanted to, I could change any of those features. I'm not gonna, so we're just good to go. Let me clear out that message, click on it again, and yes, the timer is now running. It's a little hard to see, but it is there. So that's the first service. Now let's see if we can duplicate that. Yeah, let's duplicate that, and we're gonna rename it. Right click, rename. So let's call that second countdown. Okay, let's get rid of that one that it added because I duplicated it. And I'm gonna edit that action. Here. Once again, remove that. And I'm going to go back on here, add it, message, Sunday start. And for our 11 o'clock service, I'm going to change that to 11. Okay. So now it should be the case that as soon as I click this, this number changes. And it did. Okay. So what's going on here is I've got a macro which shows and resets the timer for the first service and one that shows and resets the timer for the second service. Now, let's automate that by going up here to View and then Calendar. Okay? Now, we're going to add a calendar thing here, plus, and let's call this first service. And you'll probably want Sunday, let's say 08 tab 45, not PM, but AM. That's all important. And now we've got that repeating every Sunday at 8:45 a.m. starting this upcoming Sunday. And now for the action, we're going to select the macro that we just did, the first countdown. So at 8:45, then it will start that. And let me clear that out just to test it. So we can go back here to View and Calendar. And now when I click on Test, yeah, shows up. Okay, now I'm going to do the exact same thing, but for the second service. So new one, second service. You don't have to change the name, but let's do this. I'm going to click there for Sunday so that this does this every single Sunday. And again, starting it automatically a little before church starts, in this case 15 minutes, so that if anyone distracts you, they won't be distracting you right when you need to start that. And then under action, we're going to go down to macros again. I bet you could guess this, and select second countdown. And now when I click on test, the countdown numbers did change. Ideally, I would have formatted that so that it's a little more obvious, but that did do what I wanted it to do. So now, every Sunday at 8:45 a.m., the first one is going to show, and every Sunday at 10:45, oh, almost made a mistake there, a.m., the second one is going to show. And so automatically those two will happen every single week. I don't have to think about it again. It'll just automatically show up, and that's pretty cool. So that will show up, and then probably the very first song or the very next thing after my slide loop, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a clear messages action there, and that will go away. And just by virtue of the fact that I've clicked on the first slide, then the foreground media in the slide loop will go away. So it basically automates the whole shebang, and I don't have to remember it ever again. I don't have to create new actions every week. Those macros are going to do the work for me, and the calendar is going to do the work for doing triggering it automatically. So we're just good to go, and that's how you can do that. So that is how you can automatically change the countdown for multiple services. I only showed you how to do 2, by the way, but there's no reason why you couldn't have 3, 4. You could have one for Sunday, one for Wednesday, one for Sunday. Whenever you have church, if it's a regularly scheduled thing that happens every week, you could have those fire off automatically without any operator intervention whatsoever, as long as ProPresenter is running at the time and the clock is correct. Those things do matter. If you like this content, you'd probably like my ProPresenter Quick Start course. So head on over to TDM.fyi/pro quick. Give me your name and email address, and I'll make a login for you for free. Until next time, this is Paul Allen Clifford from TrinityDigitalMedia.com and ChurchTechU.com, reminding you to go out and change eternity.